Hey everyone, welcome to the two-part series of how to make these Christmas tree earrings. I think they turned out gorgeous and I can't wait to show you how I made them. So let's look at the beads I used. I've got dark and light green beads. I've also then used red beads for some baubles, and to add an extra touch I've used some gold beads for the other baubles. You'll also need 5 of gold beads for your earring parts, and then you'll need brown beads for your Christmas base tree. You'll need gold or silver earring parts, whatever you want. Let's make a start. Get your dark and light green beads and push that through your needle all the way to the bottom. And then with my needle, I'm just going to go through the light green bead. This should line these one on top of another. I'm going to get the gold bead and I'm going to put my needle through the light green one and pull that through. Then I'm going to go through the gold bead again, and this time I'm going to create a knot like so. Then let's put in another knot to make sure that's extra secure. So our beads should be in a line, and I'm just going to go through the gold bead again. Then on your needle, grab a green bead. And again, I'm going to go through the gold bead. I'm just going to go through that green bead again. And now I'm going to add a dark green bead. So the idea is you're creating a row of green and dark green beads with your bauble colors as well. So I'm going to add another light green bead in and pull my needle through. And then I'm going to go through that again and then put in a dark green bead. So the idea is I'm weaving in and out of my beads to get them in a nice straight line. As this is a pretty big earring, we're going to have a long base of beads. We'll just keep going and I'll see you when we're ready to build our next row. Right, so we're at the end of our row, and this is where I'm going to get 2 beads on my needle, and then I'm going to go through this area here and pull that through. This just sort of decreases from the last row. So now I've got the base for my next row. I'm just going to go through and add my beads in like I did with the previous row. So you can see I'm adding my gold bead in now, pulling that through, going back through that, and then adding my next green bead in, pulling that through, and then going back through the bead. And just keep going with this row as well, and I'll meet you when we need to add our next row in. Here we are at the end of the row, so I'm just going to add in my dark green bead to end this row. And it should be looking like this. I'm going to put my needle through the light green bead here, and I'm going to pull my needle through. We're now ready to start our next row, so I'm just going to get a red bead, and I'm going to start now building my third row, exactly how I did my last row. So you always start with 2 beads and then get them in a row like this. So continue this row until you get halfway. When you get halfway, I'm going to show you how to add our brown Christmas tree stamping. We're going to do it at that point before we complete the rest of our tree. Okay, so we've now sort of gone a bit more than halfway. At this point, I'm going to flip my work because we're going to add our brown tree stump in. So we're now going to work at the bottom part of the Christmas tree. So I'm going to move my needle through and go to the middle section of the last row because I want the stump to be in the middle of the Christmas tree. On your needle, go ahead and get 4 brown beads, and we're going to put that through our tree like so, and pull your needle through. I'm just going to fix them in place, and then I'm going to go through the next green bead and pull my needle through. Go ahead and grab 2 more brown beads and go through the brown beads from before and pull that through. So it should be looking like this. We now have a brown stump, so our Christmas tree is starting to look a bit more like a Christmas tree. So go ahead with your needle, go back to where you were by weaving through and keep adding your green beads. We're getting to the end of this row, so I've added my green bead in, and I'm just going to add 1 more dark green bead in after this. This one will end my row, putting my needle through there and pulling it through. Now put your needle through the light green bead and pull through. Get 2 beads on your needle, and like the rows before, we're just going to add them on. So by the end of this way, we should get a nice triangle shape. Go ahead and complete your row as we've been doing, and I'll see you at the end of this row. We're going to add our last green bead in this row, pull that through, go through the green bead next to it, then get your 2 beads you'd like to add for the next row and pull that through here. And then we just continue with this row like we've been doing, and I'll see you at the end of the row. We've also reached the end here now, so go ahead and add your beads in. This is a two-part series, so in the next tutorial I'm going to continue building on our Christmas tree. But for majority part of this tutorial, you're just building your rows and trying to decrease them. We're at the end of part 1, and as you can see, our tree is halfway there. And in part 2, I'm going to show you how to complete the tree and add your earring parts in. So go ahead and check out the link in the description. I've linked part 2 there so you can continue making your Christmas tree earrings. I'll catch you in the next video.